ARK Invest published a guide to the SpaceX IPO. We'll take a look in detail at the full post, but first the summary sheet here. 8 key data points. Of course, take this all with a grain of salt. We don't know for certain. None of this information is publicly available, but SpaceX has made an IPO filing and a lot of data appears to have leaked. That said, targeting a $1.75 trillion valuation, the biggest ever IPO by a long shot, a potential $75 billion capital raise, which is very approximately 4.20% of the market cap. Just saying. Currently, 10 million and growing active Starlink subscribers. SpaceX did 165 orbital launches in 2025. About an 85% share of global spacecraft deployments/launches. A 95% launch cost reduction since 2008. They estimate $160 billion total addressable market for Starlink at scale. And ARK also low-key promoting their own venture fund, which currently holds about a 17.02% weighting in SpaceX. Now, of all these details, the two most compelling, SpaceX absolutely dominating global launch, roughly an 85% market share. And why? Well, that's detailed in the very next number. A roughly 95% reduction in launch costs since 2008. Let's put this in context, because sometimes percentages, they don't really intuitively produce an obvious answer. If something in 2008 cost $100,000 and that cost was reduced by 95%, today, that same previously $100,000 cost would be $5,000. This is why SpaceX is absolutely dominating the global launch industry. And of note, none of these pieces of information, these figures, these numbers, have anything the fuck to do with xAI, which is also part of SpaceX, nor the X platform, which is also part of SpaceX. Has there ever been a more dominant company set to IPO? I doubt it. Has there ever been a more dominant company? Period. I doubt it. Let's read ARK's guide to the SpaceX IPO. Now, I'll skip over some of the detail here, you guys. There'll be a link in the description. You can read the full thing. If you have a spare, apparently 16 minutes, let's get to some of the key points. What has SpaceX actually filed and what happens next? To cut to the chase here, they've taken the first major necessary step ahead of an IPO, likely targeting as soon as June, with the alleged $1.75 trillion valuation. ARK asking the question, is the $1.75 trillion valuation warranted? ARK's research is designed to answer this question, and the most robust and rigorous answer is that the valuation reflects a specific set of assumptions about the future, not the present. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Today I learned that valuations are based on assumptions about the future. Investors are investing for future as opposed to now. Cool. They add, at a $1.75 trillion valuation against an $18.5 billion 2025 full year revenue number, SpaceX will trade at around 95% trailing revenue at the IPO price. But of course, we don't give a fuck about trailing revenue, do we? Quote, there is no established public market comparable for a company at this scale trading at that multiple. The valuation reflects not what SpaceX earns today, but what investors believe SpaceX will become, which requires understanding the company's individual business segments. And again, to be clear, there's the launch business, there's Starlink home broadband, there's Starlink cellular service, there's the entire xAI company, which includes LLM, Grok, image generation, video generation, the MacroHard project to emulate humans and disrupt massive companies. xAI also cooking up a video game studio. And then there's the whole X platform, which is not just a place to post your thoughts in text. X also currently in the early stages of launching X Money to disrupt the global financial services industry, which is roughly a third of the global economy. I don't know if all of those businesses will be listed here, but let's see what they have to say about Starlink. Starlink is the financial engine. SpaceX's satellite internet service has surpassed 10 million active subscribers globally as of early 2026, with 2026 revenue projected to exceed $20 billion. ARK's research has long identified Starlink as the fastest growing telecom network in the world by customer and revenue onboarding, a view that is proving conservative. ARK's research suggests the satellite connectivity market alone could be an opportunity approaching $160 billion annually at scale. And Starlink is structurally positioned to capture a disproportionate share. Again, no shit, Sherlock. No one else has SpaceX's launch costs or launch capacity. If another company wished to compete with Starlink, their best option would be to pay SpaceX to launch their own competing satellites, and SpaceX is not a charity. It's going to be extremely challenging for any company to even start chipping away at a meaningful slice of Starlink's existing market share, let alone future market share. If you can't launch for comparable costs, and even if you could, if you can't launch at comparable scale and volume and cadence, you can't compete. Launch services remain the foundation. SpaceX conducted 165 orbital launches in 2025 and has deployed around 85% of all spacecraft. ARK's research suggesting that costs have come down 95% since 2008, as we saw in the intro. Costs per kilogram now under $1,000 via Falcon 9. ARK's research suggests a fully reusable Starship could bring this to under $100 per kilogram. This would mean you could launch your girlfriend into space for about $10,000. Not that you'd want to do that, just some context. The XAI merger and orbital compute represent the most forward-looking dimension of the valuation. Skipping ahead, getting to the point here, ARK's research suggests that at scale, orbital data centers, as in launching satellites into space to do AI inference and training, could be 25% lower cost than doing the same shit on Earth. Never mind far less friction, no need for approvals, construction permits and shit if you're just launching them into space. ARK then say that the 1.75 trillion IPO valuation is grounded in a plausible trajectory for each of SpaceX's core business segments, and that the structural advantages underpinning that trajectory are durable. Understatement of the century. Are Elon Musk's goals attainable? Now, before we answer this question, it might be worth asking if he's previously ever stated any goals and whether or not he was able to achieve any of those. Judging by his multi-decade, multi-domain track record, I think it's safe to say that Musk has quite the track record of setting and achieving, albeit sometimes a little late, extremely audacious goals. A quote here from the article: SpaceX's track record demands respect. True. Musk's goal of fully reusable rockets was considered unrealistic. Let's just be real. They said it was impossible by the established aerospace industry for years. SpaceX achieved it. His vision for a global satellite internet network serving billions of underconnected people was considered non-viable financially. Starlink proved otherwise. Quick flashback to 2014. Musk announced Starlink, although it didn't have a name back then, but just shared the idea of SpaceX launching a global internet service. You guys can pause if you want to read this. This was an email I sent to my dad. The apple does not fall far from the tree. Something, the tism. Anyway, the point of this email, the massive impact Starlink would have if successful. It's fun to look back on this. About 12 years later, it's also interesting to note that at the very end of this email, I pointed out that if successful, this would meaningfully increase the value of SpaceX, and also told my old man, if SpaceX ever went public, buy shares. The company has deployed a constellation of more than 10,000 Starlink satellites in low Earth orbit, serves over 10 million subscribers, and reached cash flow break-even in 2023. The more ambitious goals, including a factory on the moon and a network of 1 million orbital data centers, are further from proof of concept, but ARK's research does not require every goal to be achieved to support our investment thesis. In our view, Musk's goals are ambitious by any historical standard, and SpaceX has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to compress the timelines that skeptics once assumed. Though not a guarantee, we believe that track record is a meaningful data point. And the rest of this article appears to be, why should investors buy into our ARK venture fund before the IPO, blah, 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 blah. So that's the entire summary of why ARK believes that the current SpaceX valuation, at least the targeted, alleged, rumoured $1.75 trillion valuation at the IPO, why it is credible, reasonable, and justifiable. Obviously, a lot of assumptions need to be made about the future success of the business, and the best way to do that is to think through where the company is positioned today, any competitive and technological advantages they may have, the likely continued growth and success of their cash engine, Starlink, whether it would be possible for a competitor to come along and magically solve reusability, scale up their own global launches, start eating into the market share, whether it would be possible to compete with Starlink, whether there's any other conglomerations of not only a launch company, a space-based internet and cell service company, an AI company, and a social media platform / early entrant into the global financial services industry. Oh, and if there's any value to Elon Musk's long history of setting and achieving extremely audacious goals. One final point I'd like to make. It's not that much of a stretch to suggest that SpaceX at IPO will in fact not necessarily be a conventional company, but almost a proxy for and slice of the most exciting, disruptive, and potentially financially lucrative opportunities in the market, all rolled into one. You've heard of the Mag 6, the Mag 7. How about the Big One? Want more content? Early access? bunch of perks, click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.